No. It is a pleasure to welcome you all here this afternoon. I'm Sarah Fawcett, and I am president of United Way for the Midlands. And I cannot tell you how excited I am to see each and every one of you here today. And I want to you are going to be hearing from a lot of United Way folks today and getting a chance to meet them. But in particular, I would like to give a shout out to, if you are with United Way staff, please raise your hand, first of all, and if you're with, including our AmeriCorps, you'll see that we've got United Way staff that are volunteers with MRC as well, because we feel like it's important that we walk our talk. So anyway, so it's a pleasure to welcome everybody here today. Just for those of you that have not been involved with United Way, I see some familiar faces here today, but I also see a lot of new faces. And if you've not been involved with United Way in the past, I'd like to give you just a few little facts about United Way. We are a health and human services organization here in the Midlands. We have been an entity in Columbia since 1920. Since pardon me. Oh, I can't hear you either, so I'll talk loud. No, is it up there? Is the microphone okay?
Yeah.
Okay, if I talk like this, can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So United Way has been in the Midlands community since 1925. We're coming up on our 100th year anniversary. And if you want to see a pictorial description of United Way, when you're out in the lobby, there's a mural there that is pictures and other things from our 100 years of existence. You can see the first budget of United Way for the 1925-1926 year. You can see minutes from our initial meeting. So as well as see the progression of United Way over time. Historically, United Way has been known for the way that we raise money, which has historically been through workplace campaigns and still is today. But we've been known for how we raise money and then distributing that money to certified partners across the community. We still do that. But MRC represents one of the direct services programs that United Way of the Midlands offers to the community. We are, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Can y'all hear me in the back? Great, okay. So while we do, much of what we do is through partners, we also do some direct service like MRC. Another direct service program that we do is Wealth Partners. United Way owns and operates 2 children's and adult dental clinics and an adult eye clinic here in the community. I can bet you that we are the only United Way in the world that actually has dentists on our payroll. But the other thing that sets us apart is the range of work that we do. We do work across the spectrum of health and human services in education, in healthcare, in economic stability and mobility, including housing, including workforce development, things like that. And while we are always going to be a health and human services organization, we're always looking to do things better and meet the needs of the community. So for example, we have now added STEM as a component to MRC this is now our first full year. We piloted it last year because when we went out and surveyed the community in 2001, we found that there was a need for not only literacy preparation, but also STEM preparation or numeracy type of preparation. So MRC was started in 2007 as a partnership with Richland County School District 1. So all of these years later, we are now in 18 schools across 9 districts in the Midlands. So please, I think that deserves a round of applause. We are making. In addition to that, MRC is our largest volunteer opportunity that we have at United Way. While we are a volunteer-driven organization, while we have, our board of directors, we have for everything that we do, we have an advisory committee or a governance committee. All of those are staffed by community volunteers. But MRC is one of the most important tools that we have for engaging the community. Because think about it. You are going to be doing one-on-one, hands-on, either in a group setting in the classroom or one-on-one with an individual student. It doesn't get more grassroots than that when you're talking about volunteerism. So we really hope that this is an opportunity for you, not only to know that you are helping that child that you are working with, but that you are contributing to the community as a whole. And with our goal of over 300 volunteers, this is truly our largest activity. So I want to thank you for volunteering your time with MRC. I want to thank your companies. For those of you that are here doing this as a representative of your company, I want to thank your company as well for allowing you to have this time, to have this meaningful interaction with our students. And mostly, I want to thank you for caring. I want to thank you for caring enough about kids and about our community to be willing to give this type of time and commitment. It is, when you're committing to a child, that is an important commitment. Because I know it's only going to be 30 minutes a week, but you would not believe, well, I see nodding heads from folks that have done this, the impact that you are going to have on that student. I heard somebody say not long ago, I was listening to a parenting podcast, and they said that children spell love, Time, time. And that's what you're giving that child. So thank you very much for being here. We are very excited about the school year and hope that you are as well. Thank you for volunteering with MRC. Thank you for Living United. And I am going to turn it over to Dr. Tabari Bodrick, who is our Director of Education Initiatives here at United Way, and who is going to take from here. Thank you, everybody.
Everyone. All right, so my name is Jabari. I serve as Director of Education and Resiliency, and we have 3 education programs here. We have our Midlands Reading Consortium, which you heard about, been around since 2007, a fantastic program. We've actually been able to increase it to 20 schools now. We'll be in 20 schools this school year. We also have our Resilient Midlands Initiative, which includes our Youth and Resiliency Series, our Resiliency Kid Drive, and our JJJ program, which is run by Tiffany Johnson, who will introduce us later. And our newest program, our Young Men United program, which is in 4 high schools: Richland Northeast, Eau Claire, and Richland 1, and Richland 2, Columbia High School, and Irmo High School. And so we're really excited about that new initiative moving into its 2nd year. This is just a little bit of what we're going to go over today. We'll definitely have you all out of here by 1:15. We'll respect that time limit. So what we'll do is just move on to each staff member. And so we'll bring up these beautiful headshots that we took outside the building. And each staff member is going to introduce themselves. I already talked about myself. And so Ivan is currently at a career fair, talking with potential employers and internship hopes for our Young Men and our Young Men United program. So he isn't currently here. And so we'll start it off with Tiffany. So each of you just stand, introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. My name is Tiffany Johnson, and I'm the Youth and Resiliency Manager.
Hi, you guys. I'm Della Brooks. I'm the Community Relationship Manager. I'm the one you'd be getting those emails from. I also will be doing Condor, Meadowfield, and Joseph Hill schools this year. So if you're at one of those schools, come and see me afterwards for any questions, because I will be sending out an email to you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am David Von Ostos. I'm the MRC Operations Manager, so I oversee the day-to-day activities of the program. I'm also coordinating the schools up here, Sand Hill, St. Matthews, E. Taylor, Sheridan, Deerfield, and Lee Park. And I also help to facilitate the AmeriCorps members, who will also be some of your school liaisons as well. Welcome. And then I'll turn it over to our AmeriCorps members in the room to introduce themselves, starting with you, Shanice, our team lead.
Hi, my name is Shanice Williams, and I'm at Fairfield Elementary, Harveston West, and also Seven Oaks.
Good afternoon, I'm Monica Hutchins. I'm at Arden, Hyatt, and Jackson.
Hi, I'm Kelsey. I'll be representing Casey and Conway Elementary here.
Hey, y'all, I'm Joe Baird, and I'm going to be working with Birthday wood and birthday.
All right, thank you all for introducing yourselves. So we have a lot of great content to share with you all. So we're just going to keep on moving with the presentation. I'll be back a little later to talk about a few other.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can. Okay. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the volunteer expectations. I know some. I don't think I need it. Can y'all hear me? Okay, I never been told I was a quiet person, so. So, those of you that have been at, a lot of our trainings, please forgive me because some of this will be redundant, but it's okay to be reminded of some things, okay? So the first thing is attendance, being able to come to orientations such as this. And we will be conducting literacy trainings throughout the year. I think we have about 3 more scheduled, but you all would know about those beforehand, so you can kind of make time to attend. Be flexible. Remember, you're going to be with the schools. Different things happen with the schools. Different things might happen with your student. When you get there, just be flexible. The schools would do everything in their power to be able to assist you when you get there. But it is a school and things do happen, okay? Be prompt by showing up on time. We know that life happens, okay? So if you cannot make your scheduled session, please call the school or your liaison, because consistency is key for this program, and it's key for these students that you're going to be serving, okay? Like I said, I know that life happens, but you know, if at all possible, you know, this is a weekly sessions that are in place, okay? Be dependable. I just talked about that, about notifying your liaison of the teacher. Some of you might have built up a relationship with the teacher. Some of you may not, but let someone know that you won't be in attendance that week. But the schools are flexible, because if you can't go on your regular day, they might let you come another day that week. So you ain't getting off Betty's. You can still do it that week if you have the time, okay? Just know that's an option. Confidentiality. As you start to bond with these students, you guys will start to build up a relationship. Confidentiality as far as the child's work, their behavior, and other things that they may talk to you about during the session. Okay, these things are held in confidence because you don't know who knows who. Okay, so I know I can trust you guys to keep that confidential, okay, as you're talking to your student. If they want to share something, say, no, let's talk about something else. Okay. You know, again, with the privacy, do not share your information with your student, your phone number, your email. And don't let them give you theirs either, because there don't need to be any contact with you and the student unless it's at the school during your session. That makes sense? Just trying to protect you guys, the school and United Ways. Be sure that you track your attendance with your student. Deja will go over that a little bit later as far as that. Closure, be a positive role model, just with your behavior and your attitude and stuff like that, because you don't know what the kids have gone through that morning. And what you bring is going to really make their day. Closure, like I said, life happens. There may be situations where you can't do the whole school year, which is October to May. We know that things happen. Be sure that there is closure on your end, letting the student know and also letting the school know, because a lot of the kids are going to be looking for you. Okay, you don't show up, then you're gonna know about it the next week. Okay. Also, and just bring a smile. Just bring a smile when you attend. Okay. All right. This is going to be very brief with the code of ethics. I have a copy on your on the table. Only thing I need is that back sheet for you to sign it. And this is just guidelines for you during the program, as far as, again, with the expectations, things that are required, that we need you to take care of. One of the things I do want to point out is that no time No time during your session shall you be alone with a student. Okay, that's to protect you, the school, the program, and the child. The school will have designated areas that you will be with your student. Usually it'd be like in an open area or something like that. If it's a classroom, there will be someone probably from staff, in there with you, but at no time be alone with a student. And, saying that, you never leave a student unsupervised. They might say, I need to go to the restroom. You're like, okay, go ahead. No. Once you pick that student up, once you're with that student, you're responsible for that student. Okay? So do not leave them unsupervised. And along with that, if they say they have to go to the restroom, you have to go with them, but do not go in the restroom with, you stand outside the door. This is all to protect, okay? The right to be touched, as far as, you know, students gonna come up and run to you and, you know, all that and everything. I see some faces in here with some nods that has happened. You know, just be gentle with the student because you don't want to deter them from the contact, but you also don't want to incur anything that may be, you know, misconstrued as well with the touch. Also, you're going to be with students that may be different than you. They may have a different culture. They may have their different race, religion, and all that kind of stuff. And just in respecting that, and just think about how you can learn from each other. Okay, just respecting a child that's different and what you can share with them as well. Like I said, you guys are going to get to know each other, and there's going to be some things that are going to be shared amongst you. I already talked about that. The last one is, if during these sessions, if you hear anything that kind of raises a red flag in your mind, what the student is sharing with you, maybe about home or some different things that may be going on with them, or maybe some things at school, and these things are a red flag to you, it might not be a red flag to them because they're used to it. But if you hear something that you even question, be sure to let your liaison know or the front desk know before you leave the school grounds. Because when you come back, you know, they just want you to do it while you're there, right after your session. Or if it's that immediate, you do it during your session. Okay, make sense? Okay. Like I said, the code of ethics are on your table. If y'all could sign that before you leave, that would be great. This is something new this year that we incorporated. I want to have 2 volunteers share their testimony. Holly, if you will come on up and share a few minutes. This is Holly Fettner. She's one of our volunteers, one of your comrades.
I talk pretty loud, so I think you all can hear me. I really don't feel like I'm a veteran. I've been doing this, it's going to my 3rd year. The pandemic got in the way. I think if you're scared, it's 30 minutes, and I promise you, everybody's a little anxious at first, but when you see that child and you know, like the last little boy I had, I thought he read pretty well. And I thought, why am I here? But they pointed out, you might be the only thing he can depend on every week. Somebody that shows up and cares and wants to be with him. And I look upon it like that, and maybe you're making a difference down the road in somebody's life. And they'll look back and say, well, Miss So-and-so really helped me and came every week. And that's what I take away from it. And a little side plug, at Dollar Tree, I found some really great quality books. Some of them were National Geographic about space, dinosaurs, the natural world, wonders of the world. So I try to pick up a few books along the way, or sometimes at garage sales and things, because the teachers I've had haven't always provided books. But don't be afraid. And I even know people who work full-time jobs who go before they go to work. And to me, that's really above. I can't imagine doing that. I put in my time at work, but a lot of people do it during their lunch hour. So I would really love to see more guys get involved because I understand a lot of these children, they don't have any male role models or they don't have good ones. So if you have any questions, I'd be glad to talk to you. I volunteer at Rosewood and at Meadowville right now. And thank you, Dell, for all you do and all your support.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Alexis. I work with First Community Bank, and of course, we have a workplace campaign. So I've been doing this, going on my second year, and I've been volunteering at Harveston West. And I just feel like I am purpose-driven at this moment doing this volunteer work. So being able to spend time with the kid, just 30 minutes out of the week. Sometimes it goes a little bit longer, but I can really tell the difference and the impact that I have. Just having someone to be a role model to, and then also learning things from them as well. Even if it's just slowing down, talking about your day, also reading with them and just being there for them. I know the teacher is there as well, but just having a certain amount of just having that difference sometimes helps the kid or the child in a different way. So with you guys already being here, I feel like you're committed already. So just know that this will make a difference long down the road, I should say. And yeah, I just really use this time to really be an impact to that kid. And yeah, just know that you're making a difference. So yep. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's always great to hear a testimony from our volunteers and the work that you guys have put in as our students really needed here in the Midlands. So I might hit the mic because my voice may not carry as far. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Better.
All right, so as Sarah had talked about, we have a new program addition. It is our STEM, and we received a grant from the Sisters of Charity. I'm sorry if this goes in and out. To explore and to expand more into our STEM, into that curriculum. And so as you can see up here, it is similar to our literary piece that we already have. It's just applying more of a STEM-focused mindset as we sit down and engage and read with a student, similar to the 30-minute sessions that you guys will be doing, along with different worksheets and things that the teachers or the reading coaches may hand out to you. And so the team worked with the Institute of Child Success, the ICS, to be able to come up with a curriculum. And so we worked with an abridged version of Exploring Math and Literature to be able to come up with STEM discussion guides. And on your table, you're going to see a book. There's one per table. These two tables back here may not have one, but you'll see a book, and inside that, you'll see an example of a discussion guide for STEM, because as we tell volunteers that you're going to be working with a student to engage them in STEM, that can be intimidating. And so this is very simple how we have it laid out. It is engaging them. You're reading a book. These books that we have are popular amongst the grades that we work with, pre-K to second, or sorry, pre-K to third. And then we came up with STEM questions before, during, and after that will engage them in that STEM-focused mindset. So the point of this is still fostering and encouraging that level of learning and reading, but also asking questions to gear towards math specifically with these books, so they can be in a mindset there. And it's just to cultivate a level of learning and exploring different areas outside of literacy. And so as you see the examples on your table, this is also another one up here. It'll show you what the concepts are, what grades they're for, the title, and then the questions before, during, and after. We also have different activities that go along with some of the books. So all of this will be housed inside of your schools if you are at a STEM school. So everything will be there for you. You won't have to worry about gathering your own materials. And I do want to mention that, so since this is a pilot, well, not a pilot, we piloted at Riverbank Elementary last year, and we're going into our first school year. We're still slowly branching out to all of our schools. So we'll be at Arden Elementary this year with STEM. We'll be at Jackson Creek Elementary. will be at Casey Elementary and then Riverbank again. So if those are your schools, you will receive more information from your school liaison on getting that started. But like I said, it looks similar to your literary sessions that you will be doing. So as a volunteer, we encourage you to get 16 sessions throughout the year from October to May. So 8 of those would be STEM focus, and then 8 would be the regular literary focus or other concepts that the teachers may have, like writing and phonics. And so it would be every other week that we would want you to engage with STEM focus sessions. And so if you have other questions or need things clarified as you're working, we'll definitely work with you. This is still new as we're bringing it on board. So everything is very fluid, flexible, and working out. So now I want to move on to another resource. We talked about this last year, and I know some schools used it, some didn't. I think it's dead, y'all. It's red, so it might cut out again, but I'll keep talking. So last year, some of you may be familiar with another resource that we have. It is a virtual platform called WordForce. So what I'm going to do is pause here to play this video that kind of goes over a little snippet of what it is. We'll get the video playing in just a few minutes. Okay, so as that video spelled out in a smaller way, this is another platform through Everplat and Truist. The platform is called Workforce, and it is 15 interactive games that's designed to be an independent game to work with you as a volunteer to beside them and to guide them as they're going through the sessions. It's for pre-K to second. And these are some of the different activities and things that they would be working through, like spelling, vocabulary, and sight words. And so I know last year some used it, some didn't. Because I know a lot of our students get a lot of screen time and we're in a digital age, but sometimes a student may not want to engage with a physical book or do a worksheet. So like I said, this is optional, of course. If you want to use it, you can. It'll be there. Your liaison will have all the information for you. It's just we will have to remind the students to remind the teachers to remind their students to bring their Chromebook and their headphones in order to engage in the platform. So this is what it looks like as they enter. It's Space Force, trying to save the world. They can choose and customize their helper, as you see up here. So that's another element to make it more engaging for a student. And then this is an example of what a lesson plan would look like. So sprouting sounds here, there's key topics and learning objectives that they'll be able to go through as they're trying to save the world. One thing to note here is that there are 15 interactive games, but they cannot move ahead. They have to finish the lessons that they're on. They can always go back, but you cannot move forward until you are done. This is what it looks like. Well, students will receive a generic username and password that will be given to you by your liaison. And to the right, you can see where it'll be written down for you. So this will live in either your volunteer folder or at the school, however it's set up, and however that's worked out. But it's not something that you need to remember or keep on or hold on to. It'll be housed in the folder or at the school, and you'll be able to type it in with your student. And this is what it'll look like to log in. It's no app or anything. They just need access to a browser, the internet. Go to everfi.net, And because this program is already in a lot of schools, it should not be blocked. And we have not run across that issue for those who have used it. So you'll enter in your username and password for them. One thing to note here is that it will ask you to retype in your password the first time they use it, just to confirm all of that information. And then this is the dashboard. So it'll show their progress and where they're at once they do log in. And then your liaisons have access to a backend where you can see more of the progress of your students. So if you just want to know how your student is doing on the platform, if this is something they're going to be using a lot, or the teacher, or maybe the reading coach wants to know a little bit more, or parents, however you may have relationships, we can always grab that data for you so that you can share it with them and even your students so they can see how far they've made it. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about are our volunteer session tracking. So this is something new we implemented in the middle of the year before last. So I know before you would tell for those who've been here, you would tell your volunteer that you engaged or worked with a student, and we would track it for you. But now we have this form, which is just a link that will be sent out to you from your school liaison to go and track your session. This is what it looks like. You'll put in your name, and then this area where it says volunteer email for confirmation. I want to note here that yes, you can put your email address so it's confirmed and you saw that you actually submitted this. But I do know that if you have questions or you leave a note where you see any notes on the session, or would like your liaison to actually see what the question is or to know to reach out to you, I think it would be a good idea to use their email address right there for confirmation, so they'll receive a copy and know to reach out to you. And this is something that will be worked out a bit more as you engage with your liaisons as well, but I just want to note that now. You'll put in your session date and you'll see the 4 options to track. So as you can see, number 4, no, I did not engage with a student today. You are going to track even if you do not show up to a session or whatever the case may be, a student wasn't there, whatever it may be. So still track. You will receive a student number that will come from your liaison, and you just put all that information in here. So as you click on the prompts, it'll lead you to more to put in all that information. You can leave any notes in your session if you want. It's not required. I know some people thought it was required last year, but it's not. You can if you want. It's always great to read or troubleshoot things out here as you work with your liaisons and even with the MRC staff on our end. And then if you would like your liaison to contact you about any notes on the session. All right, so that is all the information that I have to give. If there are any questions, feel free to ask now, or if you need things to marinate a little bit more, ask after. And as always, you'll have access to your liaisons, emails, and contacts for any other questions you may have throughout the year. Okay, I will turn it over to Ms. Tiffany Johnson.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. Y'all know I'm shy. My name is Tiffany Johnson. I'm the Youth and Resiliency Manager. What does that mean? My job is to go out in the community and work with superheroes. Who are my superheroes? Every single one of y'all in this room is now a superhero. Welcome to the crew. Now let me give you an assignment. Our job is to be able to go out and identify childhood trauma. Why? Because my work is based off of ACEs, which is the adversary childhood experience. Meaning, any traumatic event that happened to you before the age of 18 is how you are showing up in the world. Something happened in this room right now, we all are going to be affected in different ways. Some of us are going to run. Some of us are going to hide. Some of us are going to freeze. I'm going to cuss. And somebody's going to call 911. And that's how we're going to do this. Why? Because what we have learned from birth up into the day is how do we survive? Every day, our bodies work very, very hard to keep us alive. One choice, tell your signal, hey, we're going to survive this, or hey, we're not going to survive this. Well, guess what we don't think about? The little people that you guys are about to work with. I love little Johnny. I don't know who little Johnny is, but when I find little Johnny, I'm gonna hug that baby. Why? Because little Johnny is gonna get y'all hair. And I'm telling y'all now, he's coming. Get yourself together because Johnny is going to give you hair. You're gonna pull Johnny out of class, and you're gonna say, come on, Johnny, let's go read it. He's gonna say, why? And you're gonna say, well, let's try this book. Why? And let's why? And why? I don't want to do that today. I don't want to. And Johnny's just gonna be like this with y'all. This is reality. But what you do not understand and know is that at 3 o'clock, Johnny is a wholly, totally different person. He might only be 7 from 7 to 3, but at 3:01, he's the primary adult in his household. Why? Because he's coming from a single parent home. Mom has to work 2 jobs, maybe working 3 jobs, excuse me. And Johnny got to go sit over here with the neighbor or the grandma. And there's 3 other kids underneath Johnny. And legally, she's the adult, but all day is Johnny, go get a diaper. Johnny, go do this. Johnny, right here. Johnny, do that. Johnny, do that. So the only time Johnny ever have time to express how he feels is when he's at school. When I come to work and I don't feel good, I tend to find my people. Here go one of my people, and I say, hey, I don't want to do this today. I'm ready to go home. I'm tired. They keep asking me to do all this extra stuff. Why we gotta go to another meeting? This is an email. You see, they're gonna, and it's escalated that day. I go to my supervisor, Dr. Bodger, and I close his door. It's glass, but in my head, it make it more dramatic. I close his glass door and I say, I just don't know what we're doing right now. But Johnny cannot say that because he has not developed his brain enough to say, this is what's going on with me today. I'm tired. We didn't eat properly last night. I have no clue when we're going to get clean clothes in this house. So it shows up in his behavior. So Johnny is the kid that's running around school and the teachers are saying, I just 180 days, 180 days, 180 days. And then you know what they do? They pass Johnny on. Then we're gonna come over here and say, girl, you got to get Johnny. Let me tell you about him. And that's what we do, right? But what we need to know is Johnny's just one part of the family. Sometimes we worry about the adult, but we don't understand that Johnny has secondhand trauma. And I know as a social worker by student loan debt, my gosh, y'all pray for me. As a social worker by student loan debt, I used to go in this house and I'm gonna fix niggas. And I'm gonna fix her. And I'm gonna give Nancy everything she needs. Then I'm gonna turn around and say, now +2, because she got 2 kids with her, and I'm gonna walk away. Because Nancy was my client. She needed a house and I got her house. I gave her food. She's good. But I never came over here and look at the kids and said, what do you need, little people? Because we didn't think of them in that mannerism. So when you in the school, guess what? You already been told that you are going to be the most consistent thing that happened to this child for the next 180 days. Meaning, you have a responsibility. You are now mandated reporters. Welcome. What does that mean? As Della told you guys earlier, if something is going on and it just does not feel right, report it. Over-report. Be the person that when you go to the front office, oh, here comes Cynthia, what she got to say. Because guess what? It's easier and better for you to over-report it than to have that one time when you say, I'm gonna let it go. And then that child was on WIS and WOTX, and it was something that we could have fixed. So be an over-reporter. That way you know when you go to sleep tonight that you did what you need to do. But it's not your job to be a superhero and grab that child. There are people who got student loan debt that have been trained correctly to handle that part of the job. Let them earn their student loan debt. You report it and allow them to do the rest, okay? So that's part of my job. You go to the next one. That's part of my job. Oh, I don't have to look. It's on me, you guys. So another part of my job is I go to little high schools too. Can't y'all tell them I'm a little shy? Yeah. Just a little. So I go to the middle high schools, and my job when I'm at middle and high schools is I'm teaching your kids, your grandkids, your neighbors, South Carolina laws. Why? Because we like to send our kids to the movies alone. And we pray and hope they make it back home. But what we have learned is that sometimes our kids don't make it home just from living. They become a hashtag just from being a part of their society. So by teaching them what the law is, they know what their rights are. And how does that go? Our kids got this thing about being disrespected. Oh, you can't disrespect me. I'm gonna die for my respect. Baby, you will die for your respect, but not me. Because you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna lawyer up and we'll go get that respect out the courtroom. I tell them all the time, survive the moment because you're gonna have an encounter with a cop. Every cop is not good, every cop is not bad. Every child is not good, every child is not bad. But you're gonna have an interaction with a cop at some point in your life. Somebody break into your car, you call it 911. You get on 20 and you break down, you call it 911. The encounter is going to be what the encounter is. But what are the laws? What should have happened in that moment to get you home? If you feel like you were violated, my job is to teach you, okay, you've been violated. But what did we learn in this moment? Did you get that badge number? Do you remember what happened in that moment? Did you request to get searched and or frisked in front of the car? Because legally, they're supposed to have on cameras. So then we take this and we go home safely. Our feelings are hurt, but we're still alive. And then we go get the lawyer. So I take out lawyers. I take out police officers. Thank you to the sheriff department because they send somebody out every time I call Sheriff Locke and I say, hey, I'm going here on this day at this time. Boom, somebody's there to teach the law. So that's another thing. The next slide is going to tell y'all how amazing I am and how practice the game is. But y'all know I'm shy, so just listen. So, as an MRC volunteer, what do I need from you? Where do I need help? I need you guys to tell people how shy I am and how I just want to come out and talk to them. That would definitely help me. Invite me to your events. If you have a community event going on, you know something's going on, let me know so that I can come out and talk about how we as the Midlands can become more trauma informed. What does it take for us to have our community as a safe haven for our youth? Request that we play JJJ. It does not have to be at the school. I've been to churches, I've been to summer camps. If there are little people there in between the ages of 12 and 18, and I go as low as 9, I had a 9-year-old in one of my classes. I can filter my mouth to ensure they get what they need. I'll fix it. So, next slide. We are in 6 counties: Richland, Lexington, Orangeburg, Calhoun, Newberry, and Fairfield. But like Dr. Bodger told y'all too, we got a new program called Young Men United that I'm doing programming for. So mom was a little tired. So I need to get some of you guys trained or your friends trained as well to help with the game. Who was a volunteer last year? Did y'all see the clothing closet? Did y'all see the boxes come rolling in from your 9 away with the clothes? Well, that make me feel bad. Okay, so last year we did a clothing drive, and the goal for the drive was to start clothing closets at every single one of our MRC schools. We have 20 schools this year. We compiled a list because we already had our breakfast with the liaisons and they were told by October the 15th, tell me what your school needs. Because I got a couple dollars. Not a lot, but I got enough to make friends around here. So I'm using the money. Okay, so we gave out coats, we gave out hoodies, sweats, underwear, personal hygiene. Why? Because kids are mean. I'm sorry to tell y'all that they are very, very mean. And what happens is this child whose family cannot afford to have them dressed the way everybody else looks become a target bully, right? So with the clothing closet, the goal is this child is coming into the school. You, as a superhero, got there early this morning, and you see that child is not properly dressed because nobody else has seen that child yet, and we're gonna pull this child, and we're gonna say, come on, and we're gonna go to the nurse office, and we're gonna get that child what that child needs. Because we had kids last year, I had schools complaining saying, we got kids coming to school with no underwears on. They just don't have on underwears. We already got one school who was like, we need socks. Nobody had on socks last year. We need socks. It's getting cold. I had another school where the kids were literally fighting each other for food because of the insecurities. So our job is to remove as many barriers. So by helping the school start the clothing closets, then we can go in here and say, hey, you come here, let me put a clean shirt on you. I'm gonna give you this washable towel so you can wash your face this morning, and then you go to school, and then guess what happened? They get to do exactly what they're supposed to do. That's learn. We don't have to worry about they're gonna get picked on, they can't concentrate because they're cold, because they're wearing shorts in February, because they got sweats now. So if you, your organization, or anyone else would like to donate, we have a wish list, but then I like to party. And I like to feed people. So on November the 7th, we're going to have a party right here. What does that look like? I need as many people as possible to come in here to help me count, sort, and pack. Then we're going to get it out to the schools before Christmas break. Because the goal is that they get what they need now and they can get to use it longer. We are looking for anything that you could think of, especially coats and hoodies and sweats. I think this is the end of my journey with you guys. Oh no! Not the game. We have a program coming up on October the 12th, United Night Out, where we are going to go over to Junction 800, and we want everybody from the community to come out and learn what does United Way do. We all hear United Way, United Way, United Way. But who really knows what we do outside of what they do in here? If you volunteer for MRC, you know what MRC do. But do you know what the rest of us do? We have a homeless team. We got me. We got, it's me. We got Yumming and Nothing. We have a lot of different programs. So the purpose of the UNO, that's what we calling it, UNO, is October the 12th from 4:30 to 6, Junction 800. And we're going to have tables set up, and it's kid friendly. We're going to have some face painting. This is why you got to pay, because we got food. We got food, and I think we got a little couple alcohol drinks, but I mean, I don't know about that part, but I know it's food there. That's all I'm worried about. The food. There is food in that building. Tickets are $20. Please, please, please buy a ticket. And then you can also, that's also another space where you can come and you can bring resiliency things for me, or you can help me start counting and getting everything together. Because again, I got 20 schools and one person in 6 counties. I need help. Somebody. Y'all on the superhero team now, so I need help. Okay? Okay. Thank you.
About to close this out. These are the upcoming volunteer literacy trainings that we have. You will be receiving the newsletter soon, and it will have the stuff that Tiffany was talking about, UNO, and it will also have our literacy trainings that are coming up as well. So you're here today, September 20th, But we also, because of the overwhelming response, we are actually having to do, another orientation, which is on October 5th. That's not for you all. It's not an addition. It's not, it's the same one that we're gonna do with the volunteers who couldn't come today. On November 1st, we're gonna have literacy tips and strategies to get to know your student, because I know that you guys want some strategies and tips at the beginning, so you can use those throughout the year with your student. Like Tiffany was saying, also, you are a mandated reporter once you start getting with your student, but we're gonna go into more detail with that with ACEs, and that's gonna be on the 17th of January. Also, the final marker, we're doing this in March because we're gonna, MRC closes up at May, and they'll be into testing and everything as well. So these would be some tips that you can actually help your students during your session as well. And all the sessions will be here at United Way.
Tiffany is gonna talk about one more thing.
So you guys, I told you about ACEs. ACEs have 10 plus topics that are nationally recognized: homelessness, incarcerated parents, domestic violence. Once a month, the third Thursday of each month in this room, I host an ACEs topic. Tomorrow is the kickoff. We took the summer off because, again, Mama's tired. So I needed to take a nap, and I'm back. This is September, is Suicide Prevention Month. We will have the American Suicide Prevention Foundation coming in to speak. It's during lunchtime. If you guys would like to come, please go to the website and register. Why? Because I like to feed you guys. It's kind of like having a family reunion. I feed you, and then we talk about the trauma. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. And every month, we'll pick a new trauma topic, and I'll feed you, and we'll talk about it. And I'll give you some stress balls so you don't overwhelm yourself, and then we go back to work. Okay? What time? 12 to 1:30 tomorrow.
Okay, we appreciate you guys doing one-on-one with the students. Other things that you can do with your company is you can do supply drives, you can do book drives. We also offer classroom reading in addition to the one-on-one, and there are some volunteers who can't do it consistently every week, so those are opportunities. There are some of you in here that participated in a summer reading camp. We offer that during the summer, usually in June and July. We have the literacy and STEM nights. I think Deja talked about that a little bit as well. These are things that you can get engaged in other than your one-on-one sessions, if you want to, okay? And you can also donate to uway.org/donate, and that would be items that we do for MRC, okay? Another thing that I wanted to mention, last year, I incorporated the monthly luncheons to build community within the MRC volunteers. And I asked for no more than 10 to sign up so that we can get up close and personal with each other. You can talk about what's going on at your school. I'll let you know some more about United Way. We just kind of eat lunch and have fun. You bring your own lunch. I will send those out soon. It will start in November. And it's once a month. It's only for an hour. And I think it went well last year. The volunteers really seem to enjoy it. Also on your table, I put a couple of these. These are our new hot off the press rack cards. You can take one. And if you have friends or family that's interested, all they got to do is scan the QR code. Okay. I love them. So I do have some more of those if you guys need them. And also the refer a friend, we did that last year. Tell your friends and family about MRC. And one of you who invites the most friends that sign up for MRC, you get a little something special at the end of the year celebration. But you got to tell me that they signed up. Okay, sounds good? Okay. So are there any questions with anything that we've done that you have? Are there any questions? And two, I welcome you guys to see your liaison at the end if you like, at the school that you're going to be attending. Feel free to do that if you like. Again, we really appreciate you being here. There would be no MRC without you, and I want you to know that. We totally appreciate you guys. So thank you. To have a
Leave the ethics ones on the table.
Yes, leave your signed document on the table, but you can take the one-page document, that has the information on it. So you'll know what you signed.
Right.
So thank you and have a great rest of the day.
And also want to, I want to encourage you to meet with your school liaison, Chelsea, who's at, Casey and Congaree Elementary. We have Joseph, who is at Herbert A. Wood and Riverbank Elementary. Yeah, he's at Fairfield.
Hey, you.
Oh, just told me.